This is One Poetic Gamer, and today I'm coming to you to show you different javelin builds that I've created in Anthem. I'll be focusing on the Ranger, and while you see 4 different loadouts, I only will focus on offense and lucky because support is not fully developed, and luck is pretty much the same as this lucky, just with a different look. So we'll start with offense. And before I get into any explanation, I just want to put out there that this isn't to show you what the best there is out there, or I do so much damage, particularly with this or that. These are builds that I feel are pretty good for me to go solo, and if I get with the right team, obviously I can put down some pretty good damage. So starting with the assault launcher, which is reoccurring vengeance. It's a seeking missile that gives combo effect of impact. And after defeating an enemy, you regain 100% charge, which is huge because the quicker you can gain back the ability to shoot your missiles, the more combos you can give. And my inscriptions are pretty good down here with the gear of plus 10% speed, and that's to all gear, whereas there's also the LB inscription of 28% speed, which is awesome because you can tell this is a piece of gear that can give me the ability to shoot things faster, get my ability to get stuff back faster. I shouldn't say shoot stuff faster. I may get the ability to shoot the piece of gear off faster. Machine pistol is pretty huge because I use that on the normal, and the 48% pickup radius is a blessing because not having to jump out into the middle of combat helps out a lot, so you don't get shot in the face. And I'll go to my grenade. While you see this gambit sitting here all lovely, I actually use the last argument, and it's also has the combo effect of impact, and hitting an enemy adds 700% ultimate charge. And I haven't gone out and tested exactly how that works, meaning that obviously I believe your ultimate charge goes up 700%, but I couldn't tell you, is that a big increase? Is that huge? Obviously 700 is better than 0, and I don't know if that comes off of a combo or just by hitting with a grenade. But I put it to you like this: I saw I had this grenade gear come to me, and I was running this gambit, but seeing that 700% ultimate charge, I had to put this on. I'm going to test this out a little more to see if it actually is worth anything, because obviously I would love to shoot off my ultimate as much as possible, but if it's not really giving me the benefit that I want, then there's no need to have it. Obviously I don't use sniper weapons, so that is a bit of a dud for this, but the gear of plus 125% damage and the damage of RB being at 13% gives this a decent amount of perks. I can switch up to a pistol that I actually have, a legendary pistol that will allow that pistol perk to actually be pretty good. But currently on this build, I don't use a pistol. I actually use a marksman rifle and a heavy pistol, which I pretty much use this heavy pistol with everything. Hovering increases weapon damage by 200%. It's hard to beat that. I will say this is my hardest hitting weapon. The inscriptions on it are pretty good, except for that shotgun one. I have different ones, but I use this one for the critical plus 50% damage, weapon auto at plus 45%, and the marksman rifle at plus 9% damage actually, gives these inscriptions a good balance with what I roll with. Having the Thunderbolt of Vienna makes it so that those perks from before or on this last gun, on the marksman's gun, actually help this gun better. And this one has, I will feel, I wouldn't say god-like perks, but the perks are pretty up there. Marksman rifle, 13% ammo, plus 18% damage, plus 23% to any ammo, any weapon, plus 17% to RB speed. It's pretty huge. And the lightning charge when shooting perks, I would say fairly enough to make a difference. I don't think you can combo off that, but it's like shooting someone and then getting the additional effect of a electrical charge that's giving damage. So I will say on Grandmaster 1, I'm cleaning house with these two weapons. Grandmaster 2, obviously, I'm shooting 20 to 30 times, and those need to be headshots or the like to really, really do some great damage in that area. I believe, excuse me, I have a gear set that could do me better in terms of recharging my gear so that I could shoot them off faster for better combos. But that's not what I'm showing you. But I do have that in the works. I guess I had to give that a different name. So what I do like about these two components that are legendary here out of all these components is, one, you will see that plus 30% ultimate speed, and defeating an enemy with RB gear increases LB gear damage by 60% for 5 seconds. But that plus 30% speed on this piece of gear is huge, very huge. Whereas this one down here, hovering increases resistance by 10%, but the kicker with this is it increases impact damage by 50% and decreases blast damage. So while my grenade, the original damage on that is blast damage and won't do as much, when I get off a combo, now it's 50% more. So I had to give a little to get a little, which I'm okay with. It's going to make a difference when you're firing off, and hopefully your combos are dropping right, because that's really what's going to bring you some good damage to clear out minor enemies and hopefully enemies with shields before you have to fight against the boss or a mini boss. This increases engine heat threshold by 35%, tactical advantage, which is huge because I do like to hover, and while I don't run a storm as much as I run my ranger, being able to stay in the air, especially if I'm over water, I could be pretty mean in terms of dealing some damage when I can do this. I don't use an assault rifle. Well, I use it, but not with this particular build, so that doesn't do me any good. But the plus 40% pickup rate is a godsend, because sometimes you're needed to get ammo or armor, and literally all you have to do is fly over it and not actually touch it, and it picks up whatever you need. Vanguard's badge increases melee damage by 30% and electrical effects by 30% of base. Performing a melee kill restores 20% shield. Melee is used on a ranger job when I feel like it's needed. I feel like there's a lot of times that I may go in for a kill and I miss. And unlike the what is it? I'm gonna call it the ninja because I can't think of his name right now. Sad. They're meleeing like crazy. Interceptor, that's what it is. Couldn't get it out. I wanted to call it an scripter, but in any case, their melee kind of continues, and you can kind of spam it. Whereas if you miss with melee on this, you have to kind of wait a second or two before you kind of aim back at your enemy and really try to get that hit off. And hopefully it's been killed, but if it's still there and your melee doesn't work, you could be out of luck. But big thing on this is the support plus 33%. Huge, because you obviously want better drops. You want legendary drops. You want, I will say you want Masterwork drops. Masterwork drops do matter. I don't, obviously you want to get to the legendary, but if you get a good Masterwork drop with good inscriptions, that means everything, right? So that support is a big deal. And I believe I was down here. I didn't talk about this supply plus 50% drop on this piece of legendary equipment. That's huge, because now you're talking about more items dropping, whether it be blue, green, white, unfortunately, yellow, which is what you want, and orange. You get a 50% increase in those drops. So this is probably one of the big pieces of gear that I have, legendary gear that I have in comparison to all others, because obviously I do want better drops when I can get them. You're always going to want drops. I mean, when you play the game, that's the object, to get better drops, and this is going to be helping me with support and a 50% drop rate. Support coming from this piece of gear. General's Favor increases assault launcher recharge by 35%. Defeating enemy with melee increases damage by 50% for 10 seconds. Obviously, we were talking about the recharge being faster so that you can get more combos off. And I have some different parts. I think grenades and I believe a different assault weapon that recharges my gear faster, and my assault launcher faster. Obviously, this gear also does the same thing. So, what could lack in damage, I can make up for being able to get the combo off if done properly by shooting off my grenade and assault launcher. So, I would say for sure that I can put up some decent damage with my gear, and I can also put up decent damage at least with my heavy machine pistol while hovering. Can't just stay up there all day because you get shot down, especially if things are shooting at you. But if all goes like it's supposed to, everything won't be focusing on me. So while I'm shooting and shooting off gears for weapons for combos, I should be able to knock stuff down pretty easily. And I will say this piece of gear is probably not the best that I have. The increased fire damage, I don't really have anything that does fire. And the maximum heat capacity by 20%. Now, heat capacity is pretty serious because obviously I need to stay in the air longer. And I believe that's what this component is, maximum heat capacity, how much I can take on with my suit so that I don't overheat as quickly, which is huge when I'm hovering. But fire resistance plus 20%, can't knock that. And increase the elemental effects applied to enemies by 20%. Obviously, when I do shots from my grenade, which is the last argument. Actually, no, this doesn't have elemental damage. This has blast damage. I'm sorry. And my assault launcher isn't elemental either. I just really noticed that. Interesting. I am normally running venom darts because of luck. I have one. There's one I have because of luck. And there's one I have. Yep, this was the one for luck. And this is the one for gear recharge that I was talking about earlier. So this is what I was telling you, where I can kind of switch in and out to kind of make things work. And obviously I'm going to do some testing with these. But if I switch out from this missile, which I'm going away from damage now, really to just trying to get combo damage, which damage overall is not as much with these tactical onslaught darts, my gear recharges faster. Now at 200% if I have on the right gear, and I can also get my luck up, which I'll show you in a different build. So I have some things I can play around with this particular gear in terms of offense. I mean, I've almost forgot to talk about the epic support gear that I have. This one in particular gives me 30% luck, plus 6 max armor. The sniper 13% ammo is no good to me, being that I don't use it. But deploying a field that augments allies inside, increasing gun damage by 20% is huge. I get beside you and you're doing any kind of damage to anything, whether you're a storm, whether you're interceptor, or whether you're a colossus. Dropping this and you're in one place is huge. But I will say I use it and I love supporting other people, but I don't know sometimes their movements, if they stay within it, it's worth it. If they don't stay within it, it's kind of a dud, right? But it is what it is. But I have some different gear that I can really switch around on my offense to play around with to make this better. Obviously you see that. This is just currently what I'm running now. So I'll hop on over to my lucky build. And pretty much this whole setup is built around support luck. And so I believe the luck on this one is like 160 plus. Again, this is all about getting better drops. So I may not have some of the synergy of offense weaponry or combo effects that really will work better, but this is still pretty good considering. So this is something I definitely run in Grandmaster 1, hoping to get better drops. or just on strongholds. But the biggest thing is that all the support that I have, support plus luck that I have, like even down here. So the support plus 38%. All the other gear does matter. All the other inscriptions or perks, I should say, does matter. It does do. But I will say that it's all about luck. Like everything within on this left hand side, my unending battle legendary machine pistol, it has plus 25% luck. So I'm not going to really focus on the other perks that go along with this. I'm just going to talk about the fact that the luck about this thing is what really brings me around to getting better drops, or at least I would say in theory, because I didn't have all these drops that had luck on them from before. But as I increased in luck, I felt like I got two. I had 4 legendaries, and I got 2 drops at once in one day, and I got 1 drop way before I had any of this gear, and I've had a 4th drop since then, and I've run this gear 4 hours and not gotten any legendary. But obviously, I think more percentage in luck is better than 0. And I had read somewhere online where people were saying something about the more luck that you have, or averaging your luck between 80 and 99%, because anything above that doesn't necessarily increase your chances. Until I get some sort of I can say this, even if someone showed me and said, hey, I've done this for 5 hours and it didn't work, luck is what luck is. Luck, it's the chance of getting something more than you would any other time. So it's hard to really test luck. So I would continue to run this build when grinding, so that my hope to get legendary drops would grow. But in terms of sending this particular armor set to Grandmaster 2, which I could get away with Grandmaster 2 with a good team using this luck, because some of the other stuff in my perks or inscriptions really do work well. But you really do need to be synergized when you do that kind of run. So kind of got off on a tangent, but this has plus 33% luck, and I'm not adding this up, but I guess I can put up there as a side note how much luck this particular set has. So here I only have one piece of gear, one component that has luck, and it's the Vanguard's badge, and it gets 33% luck. So like I said, my luck is pretty high on this particular build, and for me, I will say that having this lucky gear set has increased the amount of legendary pieces that I have, and it will be good to kind of know what other people are getting. So it would be interesting to see some comments on this to say, hey, I'm not getting those Masterworks, or I am getting those Masterwork drops. I am getting legendary drops. It will be interesting to see all of that. So please comment if you are actually getting drops, so that I can kind of we can gauge how much this is actually working. And last but not least, my muster point epic support gear, which gives 30% luck to this gear set. So again, when you see me rolling, and you see me rolling in this particular suit, which obviously could change the look of, but when you see me rolling in this suit, I'm all about trying to get drops. If you see me in this suit, I'm trying to blow something out of the water. So those are the 2 builds that I have. I will be trying to do a support build if I get enough drops with gear that actually can show true support. And I would hope that when I say support, in my mind, I'm meaning I'm supporting someone else. So I may be doing a lot of gear shot combo stuff, but I'm running around trying to pick people up or boost their gear or start a certain combo with them, so that we really can blow stuff up. But that's going to take playing with people that I know repeatedly, as opposed to just going out playing with randoms who are just trying to blow shit up. You know how that goes.
Do you know who I am? I am. You don't really know who I am. fresh. The